So as Halloween is coming up, I wanted to do a quick video on how to make my homemade lollipops. So I used to actually sell these. I made them in a commercial kitchen. I even sold them when I was a kid. So I've been making these for years, and now I am sharing my secret recipe. So to start your suckers or lollipops, you're going to need a pot with a pretty thick bottom, like something that's not super thin, that doesn't scorch on the bottom. You're going to need a 1 cup measuring cup, a candy thermometer, some type of bags, clear bags to put the suckers in, sucker sticks, a sucker mold, and then your ingredients, which is light corn syrup. So this is not high fructose. This is Caro corn syrup. You're going to also need granulated sugar and water. So granulated sugar, corn syrup, water, your pot, your sucker molds, your sucker sticks, your sucker bags, your candy thermometer, a 1 cup measuring, and you're also going to need some kind of candy flavoring. You have to use an oil-based candy flavoring to make it work really well, and some type of also oil-based candy coloring so that it doesn't add water in and make the suckers sticky at the end. So we're going to go ahead and get started. After you have all of your supplies ready, you're going to take your sugar and just measure out 1 cup. I'm actually making half of the recipe that I usually would make for a batch of suckers back when I had a lollipop business. So you're going to put 1 cup of sugar in there. I think that was a little bit short. So yeah, just 1 cup of sugar. You do want to be pretty precise with the measurements. Obviously this isn't perfect because I have a 1 cup measuring cup instead of like separate ones, but this is the only measuring cup I own. So then you're going to do a 1/2 cup of the light corn syrup. Again, these have 0%, 0 grams of high fructose corn syrup, so they're going to be healthier than a regular lollipop you get at the store. Then you're going to add about 1/3 cup of water. So the 1 cup of sugar, the 1/2 cup of corn syrup, and 1/3 cup of water are all in this pan, and you're going to just slowly stir that just to incorporate it. You don't really need to do a whole lot of stirring. You just want to make sure that it's not just straight sugar on the bottom, because you don't want the sugar to scorch. So you're just going to stir it a little bit. Turn the burner on to high, and then put your candy thermometer in. It just clips onto the side, so you can just kind of clip it onto the pan right like that. And we are going to just wait for this to boil. So it's boiling now, and you're going to just kind of watch the thermometer. You don't have to stir it a lot more. Just watch the thermometer. Make sure that you keep an eye on it, because you're going to have to take it off the burner immediately when it hits 300. So just kind of keep watching the top of that thermometer. So as soon as it hits the 300 mark, you're going to take your pot off the stove and stir in about 1/2 teaspoon or so of whatever candy flavoring and a little bit of the coloring just to eye. This is actually butterscotch. I like to use white and yellow, and it's just a tiny touch of brown food coloring typically. I don't have all 3 of those colors today, so I just added a little yellow, so these will be clear. But I like to use a little bit of the brown and also some white to opaque it, just because I really like to kind of match the look of traditional butterscotch. So make sure that your sucker sticks are waiting in the mold as they are shown here, and then you're just going to pour, and this part has to be done pretty quickly, but you're going to just pour into each of these little molds. You don't want to pour all the way across the mold, because if you pour across, it's going to actually create little breakage parts when you take the suckers out of the mold, and those will be really sharp points on the edges of the suckers that can cut like a tongue, you know. And so especially if you're going to be giving the candy to kids or whatever, you just don't want to have any sharp pieces that would cut anybody. obviously. So just try and get all of the candy right inside of those molds, and you're going to come back after pouring and just kind of keep swirling those sticks as it starts to set up and harden, just to make sure that the sticks aren't poking up out of the candy. So you can see there's another color of a batch off to the right of these. So this is the second batch I did tonight. So just did a quick couple batches. And after you're done, after they cool, probably 10 or 15 minutes, you're going to put them in those little bags. They just pop right out of the silicone molds. Put them in the bags, and if you hold them up to the light, they should have these nice little bubbles that you can see through them. And then just take a piece of Scotch tape or packaging tape, a little strip of it, and just wrap it around really tightly with the bag to form a seal and closure, so that no moisture gets inside, and also just so that it's sanitary. So now I'm going to show you some of the other suckers that I've made when I had my Lollipop business, Give Me Some Sugar. And this is me in the commercial kitchen that I rented, and they had beautiful stainless steel counters. I used to do banana cream, root beer, cotton candy, which is the blue one. You can see what that looks like with the opaquer. Bubble gum, which is also uses an opaquer and a little bit of red. I had so many different flavors. I really liked this black vanilla flavor. It was really creamy. Franklin's favorite was the cotton candy. He really likes cotton candy, anything for flavor. So yeah, just a little quick video to show you how I make my lollipops, and anybody who actually purchased any lollipops back when I had that business on my website, go ahead and maybe just tell me your favorite flavor that I made. And sadly, I wasn't able to keep that business going because I lost money on it. I wasn't able to sell enough quantity of my lollipops to kind of keep going. So I no longer have some of my flavors and colors. I don't like clutter, and since I wasn't planning on continuing, I just kind of got rid of a lot of things because I was honestly kind of disappointed and a little depressed about it. So about the business just folding and not working out. But again, Halloween is coming up, and I thought maybe some of you would want to try and make your own candy at home. If you don't have molds, you can use cookie sheets. I don't like to use the plastic molds or cookie sheets just because you kind of do have to spray them with some oil. I don't like oil on hard candy. It just is not, it just is kind of gross to me, but it is one way to do it. And if you have silicone molds for other things, like baking things, you can try and adapt those somehow with a sucker stick. Just be creative, but the best way to achieve the lollipops is to actually have the lollipop molds. That's kind of the trick to it. And also taking that pot off of the burner at the exact time, because if you take it off a little too soon, your suckers will not set up. If you take it off too late, it will burn and taste terrible. It burns within seconds. So you have to be really careful with that temperature to hit it right at 300 and take it off. And then, yeah, just use the right candy, suitable flavors and colors. And you can get sucker sticks online. You can also get them at like a Joann's or Michael's or places like that as well. So just let me know what you come up with for your hard candy kind of experience or cooking your lollipops. And if you have any questions, please do ask, because I've done this, as I said, for years, and I'd be happy to help out. I don't really necessarily need to patent this recipe or anything, because I don't plan to ever have like a major candy company or anything like that. But if you look online, there are a whole bunch of different recipes for hard candy lollipops. Most of them are a different measurement than mine, which is why my recipe is a little bit special. Sugar is the main ingredient, then corn syrup, then water. A lot of them have sugar, then water, then corn syrup, or corn syrup, then sugar, then water, or different combinations of that. So anyway, definitely let me know if you do try this, and I will be here for your questions in the comments.